Connecticut Children's Hospital came to us with a really unique challenge. These kids are having to go to a hospital, and they're having to go to treatments that last long periods of time. They wanted to develop a space where these kids could come together and know that they're not alone, that they could go to this place and interact with other people that have similar conditions. They could pass the time with each other. So around the perimeter is patient rooms where the kids reside. It made sense from a viewing standpoint to create a structure where the kids could essentially be sitting in their rooms, look out the door, and be able to see the screen from multiple angles. The curves really helped out with that. We wanted the kids to feel empowered, and we felt like the best way to do that was to merge the digital and physical spaces together so that what they were doing would interface with the physical space. We knew we had a structural column that we were going to have to work around, essentially. The physical constraints became part of the solution. Through many design iterations, we explored many different ways to clad that column. We eventually came up with a tree concept. With that tree concept, of course, you want to get as organic as you can in the design. And we ended up using a bendable screen that could essentially go around that tree. The screen blows my mind every time I see it. It's not the fact that it's a curved screen. It's more about the process of making it curved. One of the ideas which ended up happening was creating a virtual world that was custom for them. And over time, over many iterations, we came up with a world that was not exactly real, not exactly fantasy, but it was full of color, it was full of hope, and the kids reacted to those designs. I love when we're testing in a real environment when there's like 20 kids in the room and you hand them the interface and they just go for it.
As I was building up the environments, I kind of did a layered approach. So I would go in and put all the rough details in first and kind of make sure those worked, and then slowly kind of layer on detail after detail after detail.
Everything matters. The physics in the world make a big difference. Like when you design a world, you want to make sure that the wind is blowing, it's reacting to the leaves, it's reacting to the grass, the sun is rising and setting, there's a day and night cycle. You get a feeling of, okay, time is passing in this world and it's a real space and it's evolving over time.
We had about 50 characters for them to look at, and then we kind of were like, hey, what do you guys think? And then the kids kind of refined it down to like 3 characters.
Collaboration on our team internally is so important. There's so many things that I can't do what people like Christina are like masters at.
I think the biggest challenge was just making creatures that every age group would like. We had to make creatures that like little girls would like, little boys would like, teens would like, adults would like.
The most interesting part was just the different characters and kind of figuring out how they would move and all that kind of stuff. At least 2 of them were things that I had never had to animate before, like getting to look at their reference material for that stuff was kind of neat.
It's always important to give kids a little bit of control in a scenario where they have no control. Over time, they have the ability to collect fireflies. And through the process of collecting fireflies, they can change the color of the tree over time.
Just that we were able to make some kids' lives better. That was the most rewarding thing about this project. That just made me really happy and really proud that they like these little creatures that we worked so hard on.
When you're able to give kids something else to focus on, it helps with pain and it helps with the passage of time. Really glad that I was able to work on a project like that.
Anytime you can work on a project where you're actually making a difference for somebody, That's the most important thing.